Hello there. Welcome back to Senior Healthy Aging channel. I'm not going to waste your time today because what I'm about to share could literally save your life or the life of someone you love. Imagine this. You're home alone, no one else is around. Suddenly, something doesn't feel right. A strange pressure builds in your chest. Your arm tingles. You feel short of breath. And in that moment, you realize this might be a heart attack. What you do in the next 5-10 minutes could determine whether you live or die. And here's the brutal truth. Most seniors aren't prepared for this scenario, even though 45% of heart attacks happen when someone is by themselves. I'm going to walk you through 7 life-saving steps that could buy you precious minutes when you're alone during a heart attack. These aren't complicated medical procedures. They're simple actions anyone can take, even in a moment of crisis. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to recognize the earliest warning signs, which are often not what you expect, what to do immediately, and the one common mistake that dramatically reduces your chances of survival. If you're over 60 or care about someone who is, this might be the most important 15 minutes you'll spend this year. Let's get started. Step 1. Recognizing the earliest warning signs. The first and most important step in surviving a heart attack alone is recognizing what it actually feels like, not just in your chest, but throughout your entire body. Forget what you've seen in movies. Real heart attacks rarely begin with someone dramatically clutching their chest and collapsing. Instead, they often start with subtle symptoms that are easy to dismiss or mistake for something else. What you're looking for is a deep, uncomfortable pressure or squeezing sensation in the center of your chest. It might feel like something heavy is sitting on you, or like your chest is slowly being filled with cement. It could come and go in waves, making you think it's nothing serious. But if this sensation lasts more than a few minutes or keeps returning, don't ignore it. Other early warning signs include shortness of breath, even without chest discomfort, pain or discomfort radiating to your arm, shoulder, neck, or jaw, feeling lightheaded or dizzy, breaking out in a cold sweat, unexplained nausea or vomiting. And here's something crucial. For older adults, especially women, the symptoms can be even less obvious. You might feel pressure in your upper back or abdomen rather than your chest. You might experience sudden, extreme fatigue for no reason. Let me tell you about Martin, a 74-year-old retired teacher. He was sitting at his kitchen table when he felt a strange tightness under his collarbone, almost like heartburn. But then he noticed he couldn't take a full breath, and his hands began to sweat. Martin remembered reading that not all heart attacks start with obvious pain. Instead of brushing it off, he acted immediately. That decision likely saved his life. Remember, your body often whispers before it screams. With heart attacks, those whispers may be your only chance to take action before serious damage begins. If you wait for that classic chest-clutching moment, you may already be too late. Step 2. Call emergency services immediately. Once you suspect a heart attack might be starting, the very next thing you must do, without hesitation, is call 911, or your local emergency number. Don't wait to see if the symptoms go away. Don't try to drive yourself. Don't assume you're overreacting. Calling emergency services isn't just the fastest way to get help. It's often the difference between life and death. Every minute your heart muscle is deprived of oxygen means more permanent damage. But when you call 911, trained professionals start preparing to help you while they're en route. They bring equipment, medication, and the expertise to keep you alive if your heart stops before reaching the hospital. What's more, if your symptoms worsen quickly, which they often do, you may lose the ability to help yourself. That's why trying to drive yourself is one of the most dangerous choices you can make. You could lose consciousness, cause an accident, or critically delay your own care. Let the professionals come to you. Take Sarah's experience, for example. At 78, she felt a strange ache in her left shoulder, followed by a wave of nausea and cold sweat. She considered calling her daughter, but remembered what her nurse once told her. If you're alone and might be having a heart attack, call 911 first. talk to family later. She made the call. By the time the ambulance arrived, her symptoms had intensified significantly, but the emergency team was ready. They stabilized her on the spot, and that immediate response saved her life. Here's an important point. You don't have to be certain you're having a heart attack to call for help. The dispatcher won't be upset if it turns out to be something else. In fact, they'd much rather send help you didn't need than miss the chance to save your life. Keep your phone somewhere you can easily reach it, especially if you live alone, and learn how to use your phone's emergency features. Many smartphones can call 911 even when locked. Step 3. Chewing an aspirin slowly. After calling emergency services, the next most powerful action you can take is surprisingly simple. Chew an aspirin, not swallow it whole. Chew it slowly, even if your hands are shaking. If you have access to a standard 325 mg aspirin tablet and you're not allergic or on blood thinners that would contraindicate it, this one step can significantly increase your chances of survival. Here's why. Aspirin works by thinning your blood. It helps slow or prevent the growth of blood clots that may be blocking one of your coronary arteries, the very cause of most heart attacks. By chewing the tablet instead of swallowing it whole, you get it into your bloodstream much faster. Studies show this simple action can buy valuable minutes, sometimes enough to preserve heart tissue before help arrives. While it's generally not advised to take aspirin on an empty stomach, during a heart attack, the risk of clotting far outweighs that concern. And if you only have coated or delayed-release aspirin, chew it anyway. The goal is to get the effects started as quickly as possible. Take Robert's case. At 72, he felt tightness spreading from his chest to his neck one morning. He remembered keeping a bottle of aspirin in his kitchen cabinet specifically for this scenario. He chewed one while sitting down and waiting for the paramedics. Later, his cardiologist told him that single action likely reduced the damage to his heart muscle. That little pill, the doctor said, kept things from getting worse while help was on the way. If you live alone, make sure aspirin is easily accessible throughout your home. Keep some in your nightstand, kitchen drawer, or even in your wallet. Make sure it hasn't expired and tell your loved ones where you keep it in case they ever need to help you. This small act may seem too simple, but it's grounded in science and practiced by emergency responders worldwide. Once you've called for help and taken aspirin, your next critical job is simple but absolutely essential. Stop moving. Sit or lie down in the safest, most comfortable position possible. This isn't the time to pace around, gather belongings, or unlock doors unless absolutely necessary. Any additional physical effort puts more strain on your heart, which is already struggling to get enough oxygen. Ideally, you want to sit with your back supported, feet flat on the floor, and arms resting loosely at your sides. This position helps reduce your heart's workload while you wait for paramedics. If you feel faint or lightheaded, lie down on your side with your head slightly elevated. And please, don't try to power through the discomfort. That mindset might have served you well in other aspects of life, but in this moment, it's a risk you simply can't afford to take. Many people feel embarrassed about calling for help and then just sitting there doing nothing. But make no mistake, doing nothing is doing something. It gives your heart a chance to stabilize, slows your breathing, and prevents your body from burning through its already limited oxygen supply. Consider Eleanor's experience. At 81, when she felt pressure radiating across her chest, her first instinct was to clean up her kitchen and get herself together before help arrived. But she remembered her doctor's advice. If you think it's your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sank into her favorite recliner and remained still until help arrived. That decision to stay calm and motionless likely prevented her symptoms from escalating into full cardiac arrest. If you ever feel those warning signs we discussed earlier, pressure, shortness of breath, dizziness, don't try to finish what you're doing. Stop right where you are, or move as little as possible to a safer spot. Sit or lie still, breathe slowly, and let your body focus on just one job: surviving. Step 5. Unlocking your door for emergency responders. If you still have enough strength after calling for help and settling down, one of the most helpful things you can do is unlock your front door. It may seem like a small step, but in an emergency, every second matters, and a locked door can delay treatment when time is everything. Paramedics are trained to break in if needed, of course, but forced entry adds precious time, causes property damage, and might even startle or injure you if you're close to the entry point. Unlocking your door in advance lets first responders walk right in and begin care immediately. That simple act could save several crucial minutes your heart might not have to spare. If you live alone, especially in an apartment or gated community, think through the logistics before a crisis happens. Is your door easy to open from the inside? Do you have a clearly visible address number? Is there a spare key someone nearby can access? These details don't seem urgent until suddenly they are. Consider Thomas's experience. At 76, living in a small condo, when his symptoms began, he called 911, chewed an aspirin, and unlocked his door, all within 2 minutes. The paramedics later told him that single action helped them reach him 30 seconds faster and saved them from having to break in. That's the last thing I would have thought of, he later said, but it might have been what got me help just in time. If walking to the door feels too risky, don't do it. Stay seated and focus on your breathing. But if you're close to the door and feel steady enough to reach it safely, unlock it. You might also consider installing a smart lock with remote access or a medical lockbox for your key, especially if you live alone or have mobility challenges. It's a small act of preparation that sends a powerful message to the people coming to save you. You're ready. You've done your part. Now it's their turn to do the rest. Once you've called for help and taken aspirin, your next critical job is simple but absolutely essential. Stop moving. Sit or lie down in the safest, most comfortable position possible. This isn't the time to pace around, gather belongings, or unlock doors unless absolutely necessary. Any additional physical effort puts more strain on your heart, which is already struggling to get enough oxygen. Ideally, you want to sit with your back supported, feet flat on the floor, and arms resting loosely at your sides. This position helps reduce your heart's workload while you wait for paramedics. If you feel faint or lightheaded, lie down on your side with your head slightly elevated. And please, don't try to power through the discomfort. That mindset might have served you well in other aspects of life, but in this moment, it's a risk you simply can't afford to take. Many people feel embarrassed about calling for help and then just sitting there doing nothing. But make no mistake, doing nothing is doing something. It gives your heart a chance to stabilize, slows your breathing, and prevents your body from burning through its already limited oxygen supply. Consider Eleanor's experience. At 81, when she felt pressure radiating across her chest, her first instinct was to clean up her kitchen and get herself together before help arrived. But she remembered her doctor's advice: if you think it's your heart, sit down. Everything else can wait. She sank into her favorite recliner and remained still until help arrived. That decision to stay calm and motionless likely prevented her symptoms from escalating into full cardiac arrest. If you ever feel those warning signs we discussed earlier, pressure, shortness of breath, dizziness, don't try to finish what you're doing. Stop right where you are, or move as little as possible to a safer spot. Sit or lie still, breathe slowly, and let your body focus on just one job: surviving. Step 6. Using your phone's speaker or medical ID features. When you're waiting alone during a heart attack, your phone becomes more than just a communication tool. It becomes your lifeline, and one of the smartest ways to use it in that moment is by switching to speakerphone mode. This allows you to talk to emergency responders hands-free, so you can focus on breathing and staying calm without needing to grip your phone tightly or hold it to your ear. When you're under distress, even the simple act of holding something to your ear can make breathing more difficult. Using speakerphone not only reduces physical strain, but allows the dispatcher to hear you more clearly if you suddenly become too weak to talk. It also lets them listen for signs of your condition in the background, your breathing patterns, movements, even subtle changes in your voice. Beyond that basic function, every smartphone now has something just as critical: your emergency medical ID. On iPhones, it's accessible even from the lock screen. On Android phones, there's often a similar feature. This digital ID can hold vital information like your age, allergies, medications, and medical conditions. If you're unconscious when paramedics arrive, this data can save precious time and guide decisions about your care. Take Barbara's experience. At 79, she lost consciousness just moments before help arrived. But because she had set up her phone's medical ID, the paramedics immediately knew she was diabetic and allergic to penicillin. That information prevented them from administering medication that could have made her situation worse, and they were able to call her daughter using the emergency contact listed right in her phone. Setting up this information takes less than 5 minutes, but the benefits last forever. Include your full name, birth date, any major medical conditions, current medications, allergies, and 1 or 2 emergency contacts. This isn't just for tech-savvy people, it's for anyone who might one day need help when they can't speak for themselves. So if you ever feel those first signs of a heart attack coming on, use your phone's speaker function. Stay connected to the 911 dispatcher and trust the person on the other end. Their calm voice, steady instructions, and constant presence can make the waiting less terrifying. And if something happens before help arrives, your phone might still speak for you when you no longer can. Step 7. Slowing your breath to steady your heart. In the midst of a heart attack, it's completely natural to feel panic taking over. Your chest feels tight, your thoughts race, and every second seems to stretch into eternity. But there's one final tool you still have complete control over: your breath. If you use it well, controlled breathing can calm your nervous system just enough to give your heart a better chance at holding steady until help arrives. To be clear, controlled breathing won't cure the heart attack. What it will do is help prevent your body from spinning into full-blown shock while help is on the way. The more anxious you become, the faster your heart beats. But slowing your breath can gently pull that rhythm back down. You don't need any special technique. Just try this simple pattern. Breathe in slowly through your nose for about 4 seconds. Hold for a moment. Then exhale gently through your mouth for 6 seconds. Repeat. Focus on that one small rhythm. It gives your body something steady to anchor to, and it can help prevent your heart from developing dangerous arrhythmias triggered by stress hormones. Consider William's experience. At 83, when the chest pain hit, he felt like he was drowning in fear. But he remembered a simple breathing exercise his cardiac rehabilitation therapist had taught him years earlier. He focused on each breath, kept himself still, and consciously let go of the panic. By the time paramedics arrived, his heart was still unstable but not in full arrest. "I just kept thinking, stay calm, stay alive," he later recalled. You can practice this breathing anytime, when you're resting, feeling anxious, or even watching TV. The more familiar it feels, the more instinctively your body will return to it when the stakes are high. Your breath won't fix blocked arteries, but it can buy you precious time. It can keep oxygen flowing efficiently and help your heart hold on. And sometimes, in those final moments before help arrives, that small edge is all you need. Stay still. Breathe slowly. Stay alive. At the end of the day, surviving a heart attack when you're alone isn't just about luck. It's about preparation, awareness, and calm action. These 7 steps may seem simple on their own, but together they form a powerful chain that could save your life. 1. Recognize the earliest warning signs. 2. Call emergency services immediately. 3. Chew an aspirin if you can. 4. Sit or lie down to conserve energy. 5. Unlock your door for faster help. 6. Use your phone's speaker and medical ID features. 7. Control your breathing to steady your heart. Each measure buys you a little more time. Each one gives you a little more control. And each one reminds you that even when you're alone, you're not powerless. Heart attacks can feel like the most frightening kind of solitude, but these steps remind us that we're never truly helpless, not even for a second. You have tools, you have knowledge, and now you have a plan. So I'd like to ask you, which of these steps surprised you the most? Was there something you hadn't considered before, or a step you now see in a different light? Think about how you can apply this information to your own life, and consider sharing it with someone you care about. This knowledge might not just save your life, it could save theirs too. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. We create content specifically designed to help seniors live longer, healthier, more independent lives. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What's one action you're going to take this week to be better prepared? Maybe it's buying aspirin, setting up your medical ID, or simply sharing this video with a loved one. Your experiences and insights might help someone else, so don't hesitate to share them. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, because I'm counting on you to be around for many more to come. Stay safe, stay prepared, and stay healthy.